or should I say Q&A. And today I have with me Tropy Nui, and welcome to our latest episode of Journey into Drifts. Basically, as I'm building, we're going to be talking about um, artist vision and critiques. Um, this does not apply solely on just mocking in general, but like um, expression and so forth when it comes to artwork and how it can be perceived by other people. Now, you are all free to go ahead and ask questions if you have any. They are more than welcome while we do have the discussion. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, to start off, holy cow, that was loud. So to start off, I think a good question to start off with when it comes to um, like artist vision and stuff like that would be: is it justifiable for um, an individual to critique another when they themselves are not as expert doesn't have as much of an expertise as the other person would have? Let's say, to be more specific, like you're like the person giving a critique does is not too familiar with let's say
Functions.
functions. Yeah, we'll stick with mocking for now because it will be easier to describe. Okay, so someone who's not familiar with functions, giving critique to someone who's done like gear functions and contraptions for several years. This doesn't specifically have to apply to like Bionicle, but let's say like someone doing great ball contraptions and stuff like that. It's just very complex things. Are they justifiable to give some critique when it comes to like visual appearance over something that is mainly mechanical?
Uh, I think there are things that are universal that can be commented on. I believe, in my personal opinion, that can be commented on, like color, kind of the shaping, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But say you were going for that example, a person who is more knowledgeable in um, I think a person who's more knowledgeable in like presenting a figure purely for looks might not know what's all going on in a model that actually is designed to have functions,
Yes.
have a function, or is more designed for posability.
Yeah.
Because that is something I do notice a lot in a lot of the more picturesque, artsy mocks, is
Yeah.
that they don't
Also,
they're not usually built for you know posing. They're almost not action figures anymore.
yeah.
Also,
Also,
uh,
Hayden Gamer 213, thank you very much for the donation. Right now, I am building a Toa Takua while we are also having a discussion about like critiques and art pieces that people make. Continue, Trophy.
uh, also Toakeru asks, question, favorite color?
My favorite color would have to be blue. I really like the color blue. It's one of my favorite colors.
And I am personally fond of chartreuse, which is a very yellowy green.
Mm-hmm.
Kuro no Naga says, it's been a while, Tributron. I like to make robots to transform and more articulation. And Lego Swappers also says, yo. Howdy to y'all.
Hello. But yeah, the thing is, it's like there's a lot more fun to be had when you make your creation more interactive. That's with me personally. Because like if you just have like something that is just visually appealing, good to have display and stuff like that. Sure, it is good to look at on a shelf and admire it, but that's all you'll be doing. It's just looking at it in admiration, and over time you will collect dust, but you can still tend to it, take care of it, but
I think what I think the thing is, a lot of people who markets are all under a very broad spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we all think,
oh
goodness, oh, what is this?
Oh, it's the Volp.
Oh, hi, Volp.
Welcome home. This is your home now.
In the speaker. And he's already ready to commit war crimes. Oh dear.
Oh no. Not the war
Trip,
crime.
we forgot to move to DM.
Hey, we can still move to DMs.
Okay, but to continue what I was saying, I think this is incredibly impromptu. My goodness. I think that because we all fall under, we're all Marcus. We kind of just think that we can really, all Marcus are the same, which no, they're not. I mean, there's those who want to build like the traditional way, want to build closer to, there are those who want to build for functions. There are those who want to build for action figure, and then there's those who want to build for purely for display, and or those who are even more insane and want to build purely because they can, and they want to see what crazy things they can get away with incredibly unique pieces.
I think a proper analogy would be everybody has their personal tastes when it comes to what they like and what they want to build, but that also like drives into another point is like when you're going to like, let's say you want to be like the best Marcus you can be, and somebody doesn't like your creation, there is like
opinions are all subjective.
Well, yeah, it's very.
You're not going to build anything.
Well, let me finish. Let me finish first. But there was something that was brought up to me a while back, when I was having a discussion with one of my family members, is that, whenever, like, you're making something, like, especially when it comes to, like, cooking, for example, like, you're never really cooking something that you yourself would like, but you're cooking something that other people would like. And that's sometimes like the case with creating artwork. Sometimes you're just drawing to go ahead and satisfy others, but if you go ahead and do that route, are you really like satisfying yourself with the things that you're building? When you're trying to satisfy others with what you make.
That is a decent analogy, because for amazing example, say someone comes to me and is like, Troppy, I want you to cook me a filet mignon. I want you to cook me the best filet mignon. And it's like, okay, that's what you want to eat, but I personally would be happy just, cooking up some chicken with aminos and on rice and just having that. Literally just simple food, chicken in a can, aminos, frying pan, maybe some green onions if I'm feeling really, particularly special, and then rice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll spice up the rice, but other than that,
Yeah. Also, thank you again, Hayden Gamer 213. Who thank you for the donation, and he says, "How do you do it? How do you make those Lego things?" Um, well, when it comes to like the things that I built, it takes a lot of time and thought to try to engineer like the uh, make the gear function, but also re-engineer it and reverse engineer it, going back and forth again until I can figure out a way to compress it into a small enough size so that I can put it into an actual action figure. And then once I go ahead and do that, then I redesign the gear function a little bit more to allow for articulation. So that the gear function does not impede articulation, which takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But sometimes it's worth it, and it's very fun and enjoyable to go back to what we were discussing, because that is something that I like. I like thinking deeply about things because, me personally, I love puzzles. I'm a person that always loves making puzzles and stuff like that, so having something where
I personally I've always been fond personally of the just action figure because hello Kuro. I think it's kind of ridiculous when people are like, oh, you should build it more like this, or the most I'm finding it very frequently from that kind of the people who build models like that, the most kind of consternating comments start to crop up, and no offense to the people who do build very smooth, very picturesque pieces, but I do see a lot of flack towards other ways of mocking from that area.
Also,
motioning generally in that direction.
Also,
and
if I may add to that, there, due to like building in that particular style that you were talking about, it's kind of hard to distinguish which artist made what. Because they are very.
It does get to look a bit samey.
Yeah, it do.
But that's certainly not really here nor there.
Yeah.
A lot of and it's like, why don't you you should try building it more like this. You should more consider these factors in mind. And it's like, well, honey, if I wanted to play with Barbies, I'd go back to playing with Barbies. I'm here because I left Barbies for Bionicle, because here are these cool action figures.
Better yet, you can have...
You have firecrackers with them.
Oh, yeah. You can recreate Toy Story. Exactly. You can recreate Toy Story, blow up a couple of action figures with Barbie. But still, the thing about Bionicle is you get big titty Bionicles. You can also have that and still have plenty of articulation. So it comes full circle, but even better because it's Bionicle.
Yes. Advantage of Barbie. Love is probably canon.
Don't tell
Very
Greg.
good point, Lucasfilm. Very good point. However,
love is actually canon in the Bionicle universe, specifically with the Glatorian and the Gory. Lupus!
Yes, sir.
I see.
Well, that's very nice, Morgan. Thank you. Morgan Coppin says, it is a shame that I didn't continue building Bionicles, but I still love seeing people making them. Very true. It is a delight to watch people make things.
Yeah, it is. And also, Anisuzel ask, will you make a Toa of Raji? Maybe. I'll think about it. I might make even a Hordika.
But but that's like when I built Tropico, like she initially was, she kind of fluctuated in her design and build. She was kind of a custom build, then went to an Anika torso design because I needed parts. But then she fluctuated to her own thing, reusing that same custom build from years ago, but then I pivoted and did something completely unique for it, for her. Especially with hips because I wanted to use Roxy legs, the Roxy thigh pieces.
Yeah.
But to answer the query real quick, I do not know what happens on Wednesday besides me herding a bunch of cats that are named, called players.
What happens on Wednesday? Well, mocking, building Bionicle. That's what happens on Wednesday, and every single day, build Bionicle, and only Bionicle.
What happens on Wednesday stays on Wednesday. But
exactly.
I've had a lot of people tell me, granted, there is valid criticism and critique in saying, hey, Troppy, you should really change the hips to, like a Vaki hip or the Metru's pelvis, because then your character could swing her legs forward. And it's like, well, yes, however, that means I'd either have to make because of how the Roxy thigh piece is built, that means I'd have to have had designed a custom shin, which is harder than one would think.
I believe it.
Basically easier said than done. Or I make something that's a little easier, which would be make a custom hip, bearing in mind, maintaining the flexibility and posability without sacrificing, yes, okay, Troppy can't swing her leg forward in a kick, but she can hold one of those big kicks where it's like you're literally standing on one leg and the leg is like whoosh high and you are just knock someone's lights clean out.
Are you talking about like a side kick or an axe kick?
A roundhouse, axe kick, one of those. She can do a mean one of those. I'd even argue she has a bit more posability because her hips actually can pivot to a degree.
Right on.
Yes, I've sacrificed her swinging her foot forward, but
hey, it'll be kind of like Armada in a way.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
The classic Mata. But she makes for an excellent, shelf piece, but she can also be taken down and posed and played with, which I think that was supposed to be the joy of Bionicle. Play. You can't really play with the picturesque pieces, the Flickr mocks and such like that.
Yeah.
Again, not attacking them. I am simply making a point. I'm making a commentary on what is pretty much a fact. They are not exact. The play. Bionicle are toys. Long and short of it.
Yeah.
They're meant to be played with.
Though, in the defense of the Flickr builders that tend to go ahead and make stuff more for display, like the intent is solely on display, not so much for interact and whole bunch of interaction with the actual model. So, it succeeds its goal in being what it is, a display piece. But Bionicle originally was a toy theme. You were able to go ahead and play with the buildable figures, customize them, make them into whatever you want. which was the beauty of Bionicle. You know, it's meant for play, but there are other avenues that you can go when making a mock, and that is perfectly justifiable. Just me, in my personal opinion, I would have liked more like versatility when it comes to actual mocks. You know, some things that are meant for like, even if it doesn't have a gear function, like it can still have it be able to be posed. You know, fiddle around. You know, that way, even if it's for display, you can still like put it in different poses so that your shelf can continue looking more and more interesting. You know, the more you fiddle around with the figure or statue.
Yeah.
But you don't see that a lot.
And another thing, if I really wanted to go for statues, I'd buy a statue.
Yeah. Or you would stay with Barbie.
Barbies. You can kind of play with Barbies.
Yeah, you kind of. You can't stand them though.
With no, you can't. But you can't get a doll stand, and it's like I'd almost even argue that the
Okay.
I would almost argue that the
Hold on, real quick. Anthony Franco asks, who is going to be in Bionicle Ignition? I cannot reveal that at this time, but stay tuned for further updates. Bioscroll says Toamata could pull a pretty neat splits though. Kumarak says, damn right, sister. They are toys, not gum. No stress balls. Lucas Bilston says, technically my mugs are display pieces, but I like him to be fully articulate anyway, so I've display options. Which I don't mind at all. That is actually pretty justifiable. And matter of fact, I even follow you, man. I like your stuff, so that says a lot. They're definitely a lot farther from just display pieces. Like, the fact that they are posable is a good thing.
I would even be so bold as to point out, real quickly, that I think even Barbies have more playability than some of these models that they are made. Because you can at least take down the Barbie. You have to hold them, but you can also yes, oh, Ken, you're so strong, ooh, ooh. You know, you can still do that. You can still dress them up. They're still a toy, and they still have some playability. You can put them in their chairs, in the tub, in a bed, whatever. You can still do that. You can't do that with one of these models.
Yeah, basically. Alright, fellow compatriots. Had to turn on the water real quick. Sorry about that. I just up and left. But I am back with a vengeance to build more. Alright, let's see what's going on in the chat here. Okay. Morgan asks, out of curiosity, but has anyone wondered what a Roxy Titan would look like if Lego made one? Sorry if not. You know, they did make combiners, but it would have been interesting if like there was like a supersized Roxy, like almost like a tank class, I would say. I think that would be like the right analogy, right, Tropy? Like a tank class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Probably would use 2 Crota instead of 1. to pilot the suit of which the rocks you wear, or rather, pilot. Kumarai says on Instagram, a user armored up a G.I. Joe figure in Bionicle parts as if it were an exosuit. Interesting. Lego Swapper says, I have a mock based off of a dream that is based off Dream. Oh, Dream. Oh. Oh, gosh. Dream. Who'd have thought that Dream would sneak his way into the discussion? But oh well. Good for you! But yeah, so going back to talking about like mocks in general and stuff like that, I think like what would be best is build what you like to build. I think that would be like a good message to go off by. Sure, you can go ahead and build things that other people would enjoy and like, but I feel like it's even more likable when you yourself likes what you build and then other people see that and also appreciate it for what it is. I think that not only makes like other people satisfy and admire your work, but it also makes you feel a little good inside as well. When it comes to like making mocks or just an art piece in general. I think it would be like a good way going forward, honestly, when you want to go ahead and build something. You can go ahead and build something to satisfy all the people. But will you be actually able to satisfy yourself in the end? And going over to the next topic, which would be I think we're just gonna go ahead and stick to. Do you got any points, Tropy, that you would like to talk about first before I go ahead and go off to the next segment?
I think it just falls into down to like, people need to just acknowledge that, not every build is gonna be the same. Like we're all gonna. Oh goodness, that's a big block of everything in front of my face. This kind of stuff, it's not gonna all be the same. It's gonna be different,
Yeah.
People who make the Flickr mocks and such, that's gonna be a complete different beastie from people who make the function book mocks, and the people who make the action figure mocks, because there is a difference between the action figure mocks and the function, because that even Lego made that kind of that divergence from the functions to the action figure, where they could then hold their poses, and it's just like, yes, I'm strong, I can, have my super dynamic action hero pose. And then there's...
Yeah, only for like the Nika to end up super flat in result of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, continue on. Tropy, that's your cue.
That was quick. I think I've made all the points I need to make. It's just, build how you wish to build. And again, we can comment on certain things, like, color, form, maybe, hey, dude, your hips may be a bit too dummy thick, and maybe, slim them down some. There are things that can be commented on, and then there are things that, and critique, but then there, to actually go and, comment fully on something that would wildly change how the model is in its entirety. You know, like because what started this was a comment on one of Tripp's uh, uh,
it
one of
was
his models saying, "Oh,
yeah, on
you
a
could add a
server.
bit more form to this." It's like, but if he did, that would mess with how it functions.
Here, let me actually, since we are on the topic about it, let me grab the man himself.
Oh.
Ladies and gents, behold, Marendar. So, I have been getting some critiques about this big chungus over here, who is like very articulated, yet you can still like pose him and stuff like that. But the issue that some people have is, well, it ain't clean enough. But here's the issue though. How can I make something cleaner than it can already be? Because not only did I have to balance the gear function aspect for it to walk by itself, but also have it be able to walk and look as smooth and clean as possible, because that was what I was trying to aim for.
To be fair, Marendar, he does look pretty smooth already. It's like, I don't see what they're complaining about. I don't see what they're complaining about.
This is what they're complaining about, the backside. Yeah, the backside. That's the issue. It's like, well, how am I supposed to cover that? How am I supposed to cover that? You know? How? How am I supposed to cover that? He has to walk. He has to have the articulated legs. They need to bend.
And that's his whole purpose of existing, is he can move. That whole mesh is because so he can move.
Yeah, so he can walk and still be like, hey, I can still do the one knee. I even make sure that the struts.
As Sora Sukimo says, how am I supposed to cover that? Answer, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sometimes the problem that I have when it comes to me as a Marcus, because as you guys know me, I'm always the type of person that loves gear functions. Maybe a little bit too much, but I love gear functions. But when it comes to situations like this, where there's the expectation for it to be covered more, when
there's two of them,
you can't really cover it all that well, becomes a big issue, especially when they do not understand the full mechanics of the gear function. I had one person, it was a dear friend of mine, so I'm not going to go ahead and say any names, but hopefully he's not watching the stream. Hopefully he's not. But the way I designed Marendar here is whenever he's walking, he's not wearing down the ball joints. Because some people thought that the reason why he's walking so slow is because I'm wearing down the ball joints, but that's not the case at all. Matter of fact, the ball joints are on their own independent thing. So if I were to go ahead and disconnect this, just disconnect this one gray piece, you would start to, and the back. Can't forget about that. Then you have a floppy leg. The leg flops. Because what's happening is the walking mechanism is rotating the axle. And what's on the axle is the ball joint. So you're rotating the ball joint, which is on the axle, in which the ball joint is connected to the socket. So nothing is actually being wear down, which is actually pretty clever. And I'll be honest, I wasn't the first person that came up with the idea of putting a moving axle putting a ball joint on a moving axle, the credit goes to Lego, who came up with that idea with the 2015 Bionicle sets. So whoever designed the 2015 Bionicle sets, I tip my hat to them, because without that idea, Morendar wouldn't exist. Though I would have probably figured it out eventually. But you never know for sure. You never know for sure. But yeah. Ball joints aren't being worn at all. He's an absolute unit. But yeah. So that is Morendar, ladies and gents. That is Morendar. You're welcome. But please, I will say this again. I will specify. I do actually would like to improve as an actual mockist. I always have been. So if anybody else is experiencing like super complex like gear functions and stuff like that, while also balancing articulation and visual appearance, I could really use advice when it comes to like how to make the mocks better and stuff like that. I'm not opposed to critique. I'm always welcoming it. It's just that it's kind of hard to find someone that can actually give good advice, which is like another thing that kind of a thing that we talked about earlier on. So I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record, but I just wish there were like more people in the community. Like I've seen some, especially some people in Japan that had made some crazy Bionicle mocks. The people in Japan make some crazy Bionicle mocks. I remember seeing a post on Twitter where like somebody had this Bionicle mock and it had like drills all throughout the backside of the model, and they all spinned. You know, but all those like drills flowed with the model very nicely and elegantly. You know, so getting critique from people like that would be a plus. So long as we can go ahead and move past the language barrier. Like, if I need to go ahead and learn another language, I will, just to understand and communicate, you know? But I think that's like an issue with a very common issue with a lot of people. I'm not so sure if I'm the only one, but like trying to find actual good advice. Because I haven't looked too deeply into it, but from my experiences over the years, like it's kind of hard to find some good advice. There are some people that do help with giving advice, especially when you want to go ahead and, especially when it comes to visual looks and aesthetics. Like you can find plenty of people, you know, to go ahead and get advice from, you know, and how something should look like and how it should be shaped, you know, to perfectly encapsulate the model. But nothing much outside of that. Like, sure, you can get advice on colors, advice on shape, maybe some on gear functions. Maybe some, not a lot. But putting all three together, especially discussing about articulation and stability, kind of hard. Kind of hard. The third Olmec says, good advice is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's probably crap. Oh, good one.
Good point.
Kumarak says try the piece that has a ball in the middle and HF Hair Factory Cell Armor for the back. You know what? That is a good idea. But the issue is, it's like due to how it moves, and where the beams are positioned, they will not flow with the leg. So I'm gonna have to try to compress the beams or adjust it slightly so that it can be in line with the actual legs themselves. Because the thing is, I want it to be like flow well with the front part of the leg. So if I were to put something in the back here, like it wouldn't flow well. But I could put something in the back over here, but then the knee won't bend 90 degrees no more. It will bend less. And I kind of like how much the legs bend, even if it's just a 90-degree bend, you know. But hey, for something that walks by itself, I'll take it. But that is a good idea. I'll try to figure out a way to integrate that, but no guarantees. No guarantees. Because that will require me to re-engineer the walking mechanism to balance out the aesthetics while not impeding the articulation.
Alright, I am back to pay attention to chat for you.
Okay.
We got a lot of people talking.
BioScroll says, sometimes when building mocks, I tend to prioritize the skeleton itself and then decide on aesthetics later. That's what I do too, especially when it comes to designing the gearbox. Tokuro says, I never got a new Mystica until last year, and I used one. It was disassembled, which I thought would guarantee broken sockets. None were broken then. I built it, not a single joint broke. That is a miracle.
Fabulous. It's on one of my shelves, just checked, still no broken joints. That's luck if ever I've seen it. Bless. Bless, oh Nua Mystica.
Yes, very blessed. Because he's a very fragile boy. I will confirm that. He's a very fragile boy.
Here to be our big, strong man in these times of these hard times. From my experience, asking for thoughts and opinions on your builds can be helpful as long as you get the advice from the right kind of people. To quote something I saw recently, don't take... what was it? I have to now go find it. Heck.
Go find it! Go fetch, Tropy! Go fetch!
Fortunately, I think I DM'd it to you one time. Hold on.
Oh yeah!
Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from.
Good advice is good advice. Alright. Alright. Well, here, I think that the best... An image speaks 1,000 words, one says. And I will demonstrate. With Malavar over here. Morendar, I mean. Morendar. I still have to build Malavar. Why haven't I built him yet? I need a whole bunch of dark red to make that happen. Let me see what would make good for the shaping of that. The legs are curved. You know what? Thin. Something thin. Let me see. If I can find the CCBS piece that I'm looking for, that'll be fat. There we go. Oh, and I got the round thigh piece too. Let me go grab that just in case if I change my mind. Alright. So I got that. Plug that in. And plug that down here. I think that will be better. Down here. That'll be safer. And then if I were to plug that in, you have a gap. Got a big gap right there. Which I want it to be compressed. I want it to be smushed. But what if I don't make it look like a thigh? What if I just make it look like an extremity of the model? By just doing something thin right there. But if I do that, then it just feels like I'm just tacking something on. I could, however... The thing is, I don't want to use Old Technic because this guy is very, like, CCBS looking with how smooth he is. He's very Bionicle G2-like. Maybe... Well, he has silver. I don't want to add any gunmetal. Don't want to give him too many colors. People have a problem with too many colors. That I know. But still. Okay, Sora Nura says, nice, wise advice, Tropy. The third Olmec says 2008, 2009, Dark Red is pretty brittle. My Tahu Mystica, both Antras, Radiac, and Malum all broke at least one part each. Same. Dark Red is very brittle, which is why if I were to go ahead and build Malavar, which is a Titan, he is going to be CCBS. I ain't risking anything getting broke, especially for how big he's going to be. My goal is to make Malavar 3 feet tall. So he's going to be a big Bionicle, especially to display. It's definitely going to be big. Sora Nura says, speaking of dark red joints, somehow I broke a ball joint off of a dark red Roxy leg. Somehow. Oh my god. You know what? I had that happen as well. Let me go ahead and show you a piece from... Oh, wait a minute. I think I got it in the back here. I just had to find it. Oh, it's gone to the... It's lost. It's lost forever. Don't worry about it.
Oh no. You lost something. How could you?
I know. How dare I? How absolutely dare I? But
I've actually had a little bit... Funny story, I've had a lot more luck with lime joints than I have with black joints.
Really?
Like of all the joints, the black ones have been cracking the most on me. But then, given the age...
Well, that's the funny thing is that I always keep breaking the black 08 joints. However, all my line does not break. I don't have a single broken line piece. They're like all intact. Just all of them. All intact. Keeps going. Keeps going. Even the 08. Even the 08s. The 08 sockets. They ain't broke. Just all I have is line. All you need is line. Lime is a beautiful color. It's a shame that it's apparently super brittle. But definitely nice pieces to have around. I think I also got the 08 sockets in lime. Yeah, I do. I have some 08 double socket line pieces. Let me see if I can pull that out of here. There we go. Still intact.
Never mind.
Still intact. Sora Nura says, do lime joints get stronger with age? No. They will not. They will only get more brittler. But that depends on how much you use those pieces. Because even if, like, it's been a long time, and you don't use the lime pieces as much, it will still be just as good as if they were brand new. Because, like, of how ABS plastic works, or just plastic in general, the more you use it, the more wore down it gets, and then it breaks. And for some reason, lime is the most brittle. For some reason. Even though it is still ABS plastic. It could be due to the color. Or something else, because that happens with dark blue as well in 2008, as well as dark red. Tokoro says, my axillary Liwa is literally a loose lime skeleton by now. Wow. That actually sucks. I am so sorry to hear that. You know what? I should build a lime Matoran. I'll just build a lime Matoran. Since we are talking about lime, I think it's fitting. Just make him a Matoran that's completely lime. So, as I'm building that, I think... speaking about like Bionicle and stuff like that, and how brittle pieces can be, I wonder what the 90th anniversary set is going to be. If it would be Bionicle, what would it actually be? My guess is probably Tahu. They probably might just make a Tahu Lego. Might just make a Tahu. Since, like, the color red is very popular. 2, Tahu literally appears, like, 4 times in story. Because Mata, Nuva again, and then Stars. That's like 4 times. So it's by far most popular. I could see that coming from a mile away, that they would do Tahu. No questions about it. Though, if he's going to be made with old Technic, CCBS, Technic, or System, I'm guessing it would be System, but I have...
Just unfortunate.
Okay, Bosco says, Tanma's rejected brother. Sora says, I don't care what if Bionicle wins, shut up and take my money. Exactly. Bionicle is Bionicle. And I will still buy it. Third Olmec says, Master and Uniter too. That is very true. Because red supremacy exists in Bionicle. And then the third Olmec continues with, so 6. I see the Lesovic mask in the bin. You are right. You know what? We're going to build Lesovic. We're going to build Lesovic. I'm going to make my own version of Lesovic. I'm going to make Lesovic if... Lesovic if he were to be... possibly not the Mars version. Probably when he was just on land. You know, non-aquatic.
Where he was loved and appreciated and heralded as a decent and actually not a failure.
Yes.
You know, good husbando material.
Yes. What?
Not sad boy.
Yes, I'm gonna make him happy Lesovic. Making happy Lesovic. No sad. Only happy Leso.
No sad Lesovic.
Yeah, only happy.
No more sad, only happy.
Yeah. You know, I might even make a Metro build. Or should I stick with a Nika? Should probably stick with a Nika. Everybody does the Metro build all the time. Less effect when he wasn't hesitant. Exactly. You see, you understand. I got his head.
Lesovic when he was not depressed.
Yes.
Now let's turn around and give Lesovic a happy ending where he's got all of his buddies still. This is a Lesovic who got fit, praised Matanui, and kicked a lot of ass.
Exactly. See, you get it. You understand. All right, I have two torsos here, so I'm definitely going to use one for Lesovic now. No going back. All right. He's going to be a Metro build, because Metro builds are awesome, man. Metro builds are awesome. I just had to find another gear, if I can even find another gear, because I guess it's...
Metro build is a very good build. I will not fight you.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I will fight by your side, because I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Got some lime in here. And then the chest is...
Are you storing cocaine, or are you reloading a shotgun?
Well, you see...
What?
I was... We're only making green boys here.
Take a dark turn.
We're only making green boys here. We have no drugs. We have no shotguns. I guarantee you, everything is fine.
But he cannot guarantee that the green boy will not have a shotgun.
Yes, we might give green boy a shotgun. That is very true. Because he needs to protect his team no matter what.
We cannot guarantee if he is or is not on drugs, though.
Okay. What? Oh! Now I know what to add over here. I have green disc. Green disc. I can add it for his arms. Oh, that would be an interesting look right there. Okay. Now I just need to get two of these. There we go. One goes there. One goes there. He has no real shoulder pads. He's a very skinny lad, so I don't have to worry too much about Lesovic being what he is. Because he be green, and he be awesome. Which is the best thing Lesovic can be, is awesome. But who's your favorite Toa? Since I am building a Toa right now. Who are y'all's favorite Toa? Let me know in the comments.
Oh, goodness gracious. Favorite Toa?
Yeah, favorite Toa.
Dang, son, that's a tall order.
It is. It's easy for me.
Oh, of course it is. It's easy for you. It's easy for you.
My favorite's Kopaka.
I'm fond of Liwa. I'm fond of Pohatu. You know, the good boys.
Kohatu's pretty cool, yeah. Tokoro says, Liwa Fantoka!
Nakama.
Third Omax says Pohatu. Anissa Sichel says Banana Toa, Banana Matorn, and Banana Tureg. Not sure if I spelled that correctly. It's close enough.
You didn't.
It's close enough. I'll spell it out for you.
Close enough.
Turaga. There we go. It's close enough.
Very nice close-up of Trib's arm. Everyone appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I have very majestic arms.
But, I do find myself very fond of Lacan, Oniwa, Vakama.
Oh, Lacan is a good
A lot
one.
of really good quality characters.
Lacan is a good
Toa.
one.
Lesovic is a. He's boo. He gets all the head pats and smooches.
Yeah, he gets all the single ladies, like hands down, like no contest.
Because all the single ladies love themselves a mopey boy.
Yes.
Especially on Tumblr. Tell me I'm wrong, you can't.
No, you're very right. So, I'm gonna give him Elix claws, and they're gonna be on his arms. So, that'll be interesting to see. So I was thinking, should I just give him the blade or no? And it's like, I might give him a blade. Who knows? I'll think about it. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But for now, he'd be a green boy. As green boys should. Oh, that's a perfect way to make a chest. Using a lime claw for the chest. Oh, that's brilliant. Do I have a lime? I think I had one of these pieces in lime, but I don't know where I put it. Which is kind of problematic. Oh well. Not too problematic. There we go. He has a chest now. And an arm swing function. All is well in the universe. You be lime. And you can see the gearbox. Makes it kind of cool. It's a good lime lad. Very good lime lad. Anissa Sachel says, is summer going well for you? It is like 101 degrees right now. I'm trying to enjoy it, but Mother Nature is not giving me an option to. I would enjoy it, but I can't. It's too hot, man. It's too hot. You know, the only issue with summer is that you can only remove so many layers. You can only remove so many layers. Which is why I prefer winter, because you can at least add plenty of layers with no problem at all. Plus, my husky would love probably being in Alaska or something like that, in places like that in general, because huskies love the cold, don't you know? They just love it. Oh, there we go. Found some dark green shoulders. Could use some dark green. There we go. Put that there, and then, oh yeah, he has the blue visor, so I can add like clear blue in the limbs. Yeah, make the visor blend throughout the body. That would be kind of cool. Okay, this Lesovec is actually looking pretty cool so far. I'm actually liking where this is going. Bioscroll says, Lesovec be great, but more importantly, he'd be depressed. Not this version. And 101? Damn, yeah, it is hot. Actually, now it just went up to 102. Holy mackerel, it went up to 102. And this is a gel says, what's the exact temperature over there? 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Bioscroll says, can't even stand 9 degrees or more. Tokoro says, he looks a bit like he stayed in the pit too long. Yeah, Lesovec do have that impression sometimes. He do. But we wish him the best. Because he's a good boy. Anyways, how long we've been going on here for? Alright. So. Still got a few more minutes to go. So, if you guys have... Actually, no, it's not time for Q&A. Alright, well, I might as well go ahead and talk about stuff that I have been working on. So, if you guys have not been aware, I started working on a Borok, a self-transforming Borok that I've been working on. Now, this was something that I've been working on ever since, like, 2017, I think. The issue is that since I haven't... The only reason why I haven't worked on it for so long is because my level of engineering wasn't that high enough back then to be able to pull it off. But now, I feel like I'm more comfortable and more confident to actually take on the challenge in making a Borok that turns from a ball into its humanoid form and then back into a ball again, all by itself by only a press of a button whenever you go ahead and roll it. Just like a Droidica, except with extra steps. And extra steps when it comes to actually having to build it. Or pose it. Depending. But, yeah. And it's going to take some time, though. Like, the thing is that when you go ahead and try to make a bioformer transform, like figure out the transformation, it's hard enough. And probably you guys who've made bioformers all the time can relate. It takes time to figure out. But to actually have one that transformed by yourself, by itself, oh, forget it. Forget it. That's like you trying to solve quantum physics when it comes to to try to make something transform by itself. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy, but sometimes I feel like it'd be worth it. Like, though it's difficult, but at the end of it, it's like, oh man, that was definitely worth it. And sometimes it can be fun, like seeing something transform by itself, back and forth and back and forth. you know, there is definitely some fun and play with that aspect. But boy, is it quite a journey. And I mean, it do be quite the journey in trying to actually make something transform by itself. Though I will say that speaking about bioformers, I kind of got happy that Dr. Scorpion X came back. I haven't checked if anything new came up. I haven't heard him making anything new lately. Things got kind of quiet. And then again, haven't been keeping up with his channel lately. But I probably should go ahead and check it out sometime. But I'm kind of looking forward to see what he makes. Even if it takes time. Which is perfectly understandable because making Bionicle transformers takes a lot of time and skill. I mean, a lot of skill. And I really want to go ahead and make more bioformers. I really do. Which, by the way, I am still making more. Technically, the Bora counts and along with like a couple of other things that I'm building, which I will not reveal at this time. But takes time, man. It takes time. And boy, is it headache-inducing. Daniel Schaefer says hi. Okay. The third Olmec says, I wonder if it would work like the Technic Droidica from way back when. Yeah, that's the goal. I'm trying to make it work. Tokoro says, Dr. Scorpion X, king of bioformers. BioScroll then says, building bioformers is no easy task. It takes days, even weeks to make. Yeah, they do. Daniel Schiffer says hi. Third Omac says, the doctor abandoned us again. His grand return was short. Ah, really? You know, he's probably just making something. Let's just hold out for him, guys. He's probably just making something that just takes longer than we were anticipating. So let's just be patient with him. BioScroll says he hasn't uploaded since November of last year. Oh. I don't think
I hope he didn't die.
I hope he didn't. I hope he's still alive. He's one of my favorite YouTubers on when it comes to the Bionicle community. I watch him more than TTV. And that says something.
You watch TTV at all?
I watch their rewind reviews. That's the only thing that I watch. But I've already watched all those videos, so there's nothing new to watch. So basically, no, I do not watch TTV at all. But I do watch Duck Bricks from time to time. I also watch Machinui Tales. But I don't watch Machinui Tales a lot since I already know a lot about the lore already. But it's good to go ahead and watch something to get a refresher. You know, especially if you want to go ahead and try to get new ideas and stuff like that based off of the lore. It's something that you can watch and be like, ah, okay, now I got an idea of what to build next, kind of thing. Which is perfectly understandable. But other than that, not much of the whole building aspect. I'm trying to go ahead and make this gearbox work. Because right now he's floppy. And I don't want less of it to have a floppy arm. That's the last thing I need.
No floppy for him.
Yeah, no floppy. He big and strong. He must be strong. He must be a strong green boy. Let me see if I have the right Technic socket. Ball joint, I mean. Do I have any ball joints? Do I have... No, I do not. Why do I not? I used them all. Of course I did. I am a genius. Just so you know, I am very...
Kuro Naga says, Tributon, can you make a kaiju? Honey, he's already made a kaiju. His name is Miserix.
Oh yeah, Miserix. That big kahuna. That big dude. Miserix. And then there... Oh, whoop. And then there's Matanui way up there. Looking pretty Chad. But yeah, Miserix is huge. He's 2 feet tall. Do not underestimate his power. He will eat you alive. No remorse. Yeah, and there's my display. It's beautiful as it is. Since I'm already holding the camera. Alright, I'm gonna put the camera back down before somebody gets nauseous. Because I had to be cautious about that now. After what I learned about people's personal health.
Sure.
Yes. Question is what to add for his back to. Wait, I got it. Oh my gosh. I know
And
what.
the guy, let's be honest, the guy having a long neck, with Tokro, that can be a boon in case, you know, you want to avoid, what was I going to say? It can be a boon to avoid, the head bumping into the chest plate.
Okay. Idea: use the triple 2/3 pin, 1/3 axle, shove it in the middle of the gearbox, and put a gear in it. It should add more friction. Oh yeah. I could definitely do that. Oh. Bioscroll says, was that an MP10 Optimus Prime? Oh no. This is in fact Toy World, a Toy World Optimus Prime that I have. And the gun lights up as well. But I took out the battery so I don't kill the batteries. But he is a big, chunky guy. And yes, I love Transformers. How could you tell? This is third party. It's not mainline. I got it off of eBay for about 200. Mint in box. So, pretty good deal. I think his name is Primorion. I think that's what they named him, Primorion. Good luck trying to find him out in the market, though. Good luck. Good luck with that. So let me actually add friction, because that is actually a good idea to add some friction. So I'll do that. Have the pin there, and then no, that's not gonna work. Trying to think here. And thinking hurts, by the way. Oh yeah, I should probably not use that, but instead I should use number 6 over here. There we go. Now I can plug that in, and then I can actually have friction happening where I want the friction to be happening. Now I just need an axle. Actually, no, I can just grab a slicer torso and do the same thing that I did for Koalas. Do the same thing that I did for Koalas. Just had to go ahead and find that piece, and then we'll be good to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Or so the legends say. If I can actually find a slicer torso. That would be a miracle if I can actually find a slicer torso. It will be very nice. Shadowfire says hello. Bioscross. Oh. Tokoro says, I'm gonna get Studio Series 05 Voyager Optimus Prime soon. Oh, that is awesome. Good luck.
That is very awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Kuronoga says, the Nicey is good too. Oh yeah, Nicey. Which... Yeah, Nicey is good, but I don't have plans on getting RC. You know? At least not yet. I'll probably get myself a wind blade before I get myself an RC. I'll be honest there. I'll be honest with you on that one. I would probably get a wind blade before I get an RC. Buzzscore says, meanwhile, MP44 is $579 on TF Source. Too expensive. I could buy a new washing machine. Matter of fact, I would probably should buy a dryer before I buy MP44. Though, if I were to go ahead and get a cartoon accurate Optimus Prime, I will probably get a Transform Element OP Leader 1. That's what I would get. Because 1, I don't have to worry about tolerance issues or floppy knees. Because I know it's a good Optimus Prime. It's very cartoon accurate and it's a beautiful piece, the MP44. But how am I supposed to display the figure if he has wobbly knees? Well, you still could, but I'm paying almost like $600 for an Optimus Prime. I shouldn't have to be worried about loose joints at $600. Maybe Takara fixed it since then, but still. Also, like, Optimus Prime is probably like one of my favorite Transformers, so like, I tend to flip Optimus Primes the most in my collection back and forth when it comes to, like, fiddling around with it. And MP44 is definitely something to not fiddle around with, because I do not want to break anything. Because I'll have you know, guys, I am not a delicate person. The one reason why I tried to make Mox as durable as it is, it's not because, like, oh, I need to build it for play, which is part of the reason, yes. But another reason is that I am very clumsy and I can break almost anything. One time I was having a conversation with someone, with my sister and stuff, and I swung down my arm and I broke a chandelier. I smacked my hand against the glass of one of the lights, and then boom, everything breaks. That is just one of many examples when I actually break something. I am very good at breaking stuff when I try not to. Which is why I do not want to get an MP44, because I'm afraid I'll break it with my own hands. That's true. It's true. I'm very, very, very heavy-handed. I'm a very heavy-handed and a very heavy-footed person. I remember one time, it was several years ago, back in middle school. No, I think it was high school. Yeah, in my freshman year of high school. Um, like I had like a substitute teacher in English, and because like something was going on. I don't remember what exactly, but the drama started happening in the classroom, and then the teacher had us go outside and stand in the hallway. However, because the way I walk, I tend to be marching whenever I walk. So I always like take long strides and take very heavy steps whenever I walk. I do not walk gently. So the teacher thought that I was angry. So his immediate response is to confront me. And at first I was confused, you know, and he told me to go ahead and stand on the other end of the line of the hallway. And I get a little irritated by that. I'm still stomping, as I typically do whenever I walk. And then more stuff happens, and then it just gets... And then I start actually getting annoyed, you know, because he keeps, like, confronting me about, like why I'm angry and stuff like that. And I keep telling him, I'm not angry. What are you talking about? You know. And to the point where I actually do get upset. And then I start having an asthma attack in response because it's like, you're pissing me off, man. And I don't have my inhaler. You're pissing me off. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was a trip, man. That was a trip. Shadowfire says, which is your favorite Decepticon? My favorite Decepticon is... everybody picks Soundwave, and I would have to agree with them, but...
Oh, that is a good question.
But my hands down, one of my favorite Decepticons would have to actually be... I actually got two options. I have two. Either Cyclonus or Six Shot. Those are my two favorites. Cyclonus or Six Shot. I like them both. They're good characters, man.
My favorites, they are. Soundwave's definitely a easy go-to because Soundwave is actually just one of those really freaking deep characters that you think, oh, it's just Soundwave. No, he's got a lot of personality, a lot of character to him. And Shockwave's also a good one, Kurononaga. I'm a fond proponent of Tarn.
Oh, Tarn is good.
the man's man of, you know, Decepticons.
Yeah.
Tarn, does Dinobot count?
You alright over there? What's going on?
Does Dinobot count as a Decepticon?
Dinobot? He's technically a Predacon, but I guess you can call him a Decepticon. Yeah, just give him a leeway. If we're gonna use that logic, I would say Tarantulas then.
Oh, Tarantulas is just freaking excellent, but also creepy. Ugh. Yeah, Tarn, Dinobot. I love me some Seekers, Shockwave, Soundwave. Triptychon's a good choice, always. But for ones that don't fly, or turn into gargantuan buff man tanks, I have to say I'm a very fond proponent of Transformers Warforce Cybertron Breakdown.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Anxiety and panic in one fell swoop.
Okay, Bioscroll says Thundercracker and Knockout. Knockout is good. TF Prime Knockout is nice. Shit. I would say, like, for one of the more, obscure ones, obscure, like, Decepticons, I think, like, one of my favorites would have to be, like, Spinister. I really like Spinister. He's so dumb, but I love him. Spinister is good. I also like. Let me think. I'm trying to think, guys, that are think of Decepticons that are just not like big and in your face, because I can easily call them off on the top of my head, like Thunderwing, for example. Thunderwing is a beast. I love him.
Oh, a good character from animated, easily Blitzwing and Lugnut.
Blitzwing.
Best of the three.
Oh yes,
the best
Blitzwing.
are of that entire series for Decepticons.
Animated
Oh, you
Swindle.
wanna talk about
Animated
characters.
Swindle.
Oh my goodness.
Animated Swindle is a good one.
Oh, Swindle is a good one. Oh my goodness. But oh my god, can you imagine the freaking brutality that voice actor had to invoke, just plain invoke upon their poor throat to do Lugnut's voice?
Oh man, I feel sorry.
Holy shit.
Hey man, when you had to pledge your loyalty to the Decepticons, you know, there's no better way to go out. Oh. Bless Lugnut. In the words of Swindle, Decepticons, you war criminal, you warmongers are my favorite customers.
I love how you said war criminals first. You war criminals are my favorite customers.
Warmongers. I meant to say
Call 'em
warmongers.
out. And call them out at one time.
I nailed it perfectly. Swindle totally does not get slaughtered at all.
Swindle, he can get away with it.
Yeah. Oh.
At least he can, until he gets one whole prime popping out of his titty compartment.
Oh. He should be lucky that Galvatron is not animated, because my god, he would definitely get killed if Galvatron was animated. Oh.
Oh goodness gracious. Galvatron does not fuck around. No sir.
Oh. God. How did I mess up and yet was so victorious at the same time is beyond me. Oh. Kurono Naga says Wheeljack is kind of Wheeljack is considered a Decepticon in Transformers Armada. Oh yeah, he's an Autobot turned rogue. I guess he counts as a Decepticon. Armada Wheeljack is pretty cool, but I like Armada Sideswipe even more. Armada Sideswipe is pretty good. I like him. Oh. And also, like, the first in a long time that we actually got a headmaster. Like, the first in a long time. Before, like, Titan's Return basically came and killed it. Oh my gosh, I just realized, why hasn't there been... You know what they could have done in Titan's Return? They could have, like, given us, like, a new Armada sideswipe. Sideways, I mean. Armada Sideways. We could have had another Armada Sideways. That would have been so cool. Hasbro, why? Shoot. That needs to happen. Like, we need more Armada. More Armada. I know, like, there's a third-party company making,
Now here's the real question.
What?
Here's the real question. Who is the best Megatron, and why is it Beast Wars Megatron?
Yes. Yes. I mean, because David K. Because David K. David K did such a phenomenal job with the performance, especially adding the additional yes. Just
Absolutely. The fact he actually gave Megatron a voice tick.
Yeah. Like, that wasn't originally planned. He added that in, and that just, like, sells it immediately. Kurno Naga says, best Megatron has to be Transformers Prime. That's also a good one.
Fair enough.
That's also a good one, but
It is.
David K though. David K.
I love how in the comments Tokuro said, some say they never stop laughing. It's true. The moment we get going, the giggles will never cease.
Yeah.
No sir, not here.
Oh, we just keep going and going and going. And did I mention we keep going? I'm gonna make this yellow because I have no other... I'm having difficulty over here and trying to find the right color, so that's just gonna be a replacement piece now.
You just having difficulties.
Yeah. Alright, so... Another good Megatron, I would have to say, would have to be... the Armada Megatron. I really like that, like Megatron from Armada. I know I keep going back to Armada, but because I just like Armada, man. But Armada Megatron is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. There we go. And then put this here. And then I can put a gear. I can put gears now. You won't have floppy arms no more. Less of it. You'll be whole. You'll be complete. You'll be beautiful. Okay. Tokuro says, who else has a special mask on a mask rack? I have a chrome, gold, and silver house, 2 glitter, and 1 silver Evokies, copper Huna, silver Akaku, silver and gold Kakamas. Very nice. Silver Miru, and gold Pakari. Love the gold Pakari. I don't have a mask rack, but I know like a few people that do. It's definitely something that I really want to go ahead and do myself because I have a lot of masks, if you may have noticed. They barely even fit in the container anymore, so I kind of want to make a little display, you know, and do something with it. Because that is definitely a mood. Alright, so Chrono Naga says Transformers Beast Wars Megatron is the same as Megatron voice in Cybertron. Really? They got David K to voice as Megs in Cybertron. That is cool. Bioscope says
Cool.
animated Megatron is still my favorite, next to Beast Wars Megatron, of course. Oh, animated Megatron is awesome. You were saying, Tropy?
2018 Transformers, screw the Transformers farm.
Excuse me, I will fight you.
I will fight you too. I will kick you off of this live stream. I'm just kidding. I will not. But maybe. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do it. That's mean. That's mean. That's mean. Truth's just supposed to be nice. But yeah, like, no, man. No. You take that back. You take that back. You take that back, buddy. Kurno Naga says lol. Alright, so Lesovic is almost done. The power of line is with an... That was a loose line piece. I'm gonna have to look at it again to see if it's cracked. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Which would be kind of sad because that will just immediately break my record of not having a single broken line piece. But I believe, my fellow compatriots, if you have any questions, feel free to ask now because I'm about to end the live stream. I believe we've gotten far enough and we had a good vibes all the way through. Chrono Nog says, Tripchon, do you plan to make custom gunpla? Yes! Yes, I do. I have been collecting a few Gunpla models, but I definitely want to go ahead and buy double on some Gunpla so that I can actually go ahead and make I kind of really want to go ahead and make a... What's it called? What are they called? Plenty of GMs. I want to make some custom GMs. That's what I want to do. Because I really like the Blue Destiny, and I also like a few other models. Yeah. Chrono Naga says, an army? Yes, I want to make an army. Nothing but GMs. An army of GMs. And gun cannons. Busco says, never watched Transformers Victory. I heard it's incredibly well done. It is. I need to watch it, and so should you. I heard it's good. Tokoro says, oh, Mall Man just arrived with some Chronizaz I ordered on Bricklink for Tanok, Galak, and Korak. That is awesome. Happy for you. But without any further to do, I believe it is time to end the live stream. But guys, I hope you did enjoy. And of course, if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. And if you like this video, feel free to leave a like. And also, if you want to go ahead and check me out in any social media outlets, the links will be in the description down below. So will be Tropinui's Twitter. If you want to go ahead and check her stuff out, they will be in the description. as well. But without any further ado, that will be it for now. So I hope you all enjoyed, and like always, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.
And remember, guys, play well.
Yes, happy building and
Bye.
play well, everybody.